Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is preseason football on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see the exciting second-year quarterback Lamar Jackson of the Baltimore Ravens as they take on Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, the city of Philadelphia is one of rich history and passion, and you can always count on the latter when you step inside Lincoln Financial Field. Just a short time ago, these Philly fans in full roar as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. Pyrotechnics ablaze. They're set to go as their Eagles will match up with the Baltimore Ravens. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis with you, and now we sit, CD, at week 3 of the preseason, and this is the one that the coaches probably think is pretty valuable, right?
Certainly. This is the dress rehearsal. This is the one where your starters are going to play. You might even game plan a little bit more than you do with a normal preseason game, and then you've got to decide, do you bring them back after halftime and get them going again in the third quarter so they're ready to go when the regular season begins? I'm eager to see how these coaches will handle that.
Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. There's Carson Wentz bringing out the Philadelphia Eagles. 21 touchdown passes, just 7 interceptions for him last year until a back injury knocked him out in Week 14. Now a 2-time 1,000-yard rusher for the Bears. This is Jordan Howard. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stop that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Shotgun now for Wentz. He's got the hook up here to Deshaun Jackson. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. That catch now puts him on the doorstep of 500. It's his 499th reception. Wentz going to try and throw on third. Aguilar has it. 14 yards there and an Eagle first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
On first down, they run with Howard. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. And here are the starters for Philadelphia.
2-time All-Pro center Jason Kelsey is one of the most athletic centers in the league. In fact, he went to the University of Cincinnati as a walk-on linebacker before converting to the offensive line. Can pull, trap, get out in front of runners in any situation, and one of the more intelligent centers in the league as well, handling all of their line calls.
From just shy of midfield, Wentz. It's caught by Jackson. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. And he has now hit number 500. Charles, that is his 500th NFL career catch.
Definitely worthy of applause, but I remember when 500 meant you were going to the Hall of Fame. Nowadays, in today's football, 500 puts you on the path, a significant number.
Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there.
I wonder if they just kind of outguessed themselves a little bit trying to run it on third down. Probably should have gone to the air to try and pick it up. Instead, the punting unit will have to run on the field.
Now on fourth down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. Tyler Ervin back deep. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. So Lamar Jackson in his second season, the Heisman Trophy winner of 2016, leading the Ravens onto the field. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And he's not going anywhere to start the night. They stop him at the line of scrimmage. Up to make the stop, the Pro Bowl safety, Malcolm Jenkins. And a very good offensive unit here. One of the reasons they're so good is running back Mark Ingram.
Took a little while for him to find his footing when he got into the league, but the former Heisman Trophy winner has it now and has really upped his pass receiving potential. A nice player.
Throwing on second down. Jackson, they go screen. This is Ingram. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. Now it appears we've got an injured Raven down there on the field. Definitely the last thing you want to see here in a preseason game. We'll be right back. The last catch took him 2 yards in the wrong direction, so now what can they do on third? A first carry now for Kenneth Dixon. And they will rally and stop him short of the first down. They get him to the ground at the 26. It'll be a gain of 7, but I'd imagine we'll see the punt team here on fourth down.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
So on fourth down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
The Eagles coming out as they get ready. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
And he's up past the 10 to about the 12. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. The starters now defensively for Baltimore.
Let's go to the middle of the Baltimore defense where Brandon Williams holds court, and we often talk about how difficult it is to stop a big-time runner. How about trying to stop a big-time guy in the middle who wreaks havoc both with pass rush and against the run? Brandon Williams went to his first Pro Bowl at the end of the 2018 season.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Wentz. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll run on first down. It's Howard, and they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing, often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Wentz off the fake handoff to Howard. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Wentz going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. On the delay, it's Howard. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 10 yards there and an Eagle first down. The first drive this unit had, they punted. This drive, much more polished, just looking crisper, aren't they, moving the ball?
Maybe the first drive was a little bit of a wake-up call. Probably a little bit angry that they had to punt the ball away the first time they had it. Got motivated, got to the sideline, said, okay, let's not let that happen here as we take over again.
Here we go. Waiting. That's right, baby. They don't want it.
On first, they go right back to Howard. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's Wentz. That's caught by Jackson. And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Wentz to throw. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
So on comes the Eagle kicker, Jake Elliott, on 4th down.
A 32-yard attempt.
The kick by Elliott is good. And the Eagles, they take a 3-0 lead. So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick. But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
A different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say if I miss an extra point, that's the one that bothers me more.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Jackson. Open man is the tight end, Nick Boyle. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. And we peek at the defense now for Philadelphia.
Fletcher Cox is a first-round pick who has fulfilled his promise. One of the best defensive linemen in the NFL.
The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on third down. Draw play. Ingram now. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on fourth down.
Fourth and short, partner. I mean, this would be a really risky call. Here we are in the first quarter.
On your own side of the field.
Own side of the field. But, boy, what a tone setter that would be to go for it and get it, wouldn't it?
You're gritty today. I like it.
I'm feeling it.
Here's Sam Cook now as he'll kick it away for the second time. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line.
You rarely call your punter a weapon, but he certainly was there. How about that? Pinning him down at the 1-yard line and helping out the defense in a big way. I'm telling you what, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I might be thinking safety right now.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And following that punt, which turned out as well as it possibly could have, this offense has 99 yards to go to the other end zone.
And the defense is frothing at the mouth with a chance to get points themselves. If they tackle a runner in the end zone, safety.
Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
After the safety, remember, they also need to give up the football, and here's the free kick. Here's Herman to return. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
A run there on first down and a pretty good one of 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. Nigel Bradham brings him down. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson. And this one complete to Seth Roberts. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The Ravens get a new set of downs. Give them 17 on that pickup. Nice throw there by Jackson. You think about what a boost he gave Baltimore the middle of last year, led them to victories in 6 of their last 7 games as a starter, replacing Joe Flacco, who had the hip issue. And that strong finish was good enough for the Ravens to capture their first AFC North crown since 2012. And now Jackson's a known commodity. He's the unquestioned starter, and with increased expectations and pressure on the former Heisman Trophy winner. Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard, 2nd and 11. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. After the penalty, it's Ingram. It's a gain of 3, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Jackson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. On the draw, this is Ingram.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Now Justin Tucker. He has hit from 61 in his career, so he has the leg for this. 64 was Matt Prater's record. This would top that by a yard. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. So you had to figure that sooner or later someone was going to top Matt Prater's record of 64, and officially this one will go in the record books at 65.
You saw him lining up for this, and you just thought to yourself, you know, he couldn't make this. And sure enough, to be here to see it, that's pretty darn awesome.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
They'll begin on the ground with Clement, and that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Working from the gun, Wentz. And the reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Wentz now already over 100 yards passing in just this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Clement. Just bowling over tacklers. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. On first down, they go with Clement again. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
From the 44, Wentz, and this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
It's got to the point where we see guys like that make that type of a catch. Not fair goes through my brain. That size, that speed, and now they're acting like wide receivers too.
Yeah, tight end one-handed catches. They're kind of like wide receiver one-handed catches nowadays.
Just not right.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on 3rd. To throw is Wentz. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And he takes it all the way down to the 22. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 22-yard line.
There are a lot of tough routes to try and cover. When you see a runner come out of the backfield and run this angle route, looks like they're going to the flat, and then they put their foot in the ground and cut back sharply inside, not easily covered, and then when they catch it, good momentum built up by them as well.
And able to pick up the first. Wentz now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10. It's Clement back to the running game. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 14-yard line.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Wentz. That's complete to Jeffrey. And here he'll get it down to the 7. An Eagle first down. Wentz hooking up with Jeffrey.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
They'll run with Smallwood. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal.
We got 4. We got 4.
Wentz going to throw. Got a man open. It's Ertz. Touchdown, Philadelphia. It's a 6-yard touchdown pass. And once again, the Eagles are back out in front.
Well, the lost sleep that the defensive coordinator had all week preparing for this game, a good portion of it was trying to prepare for him because he's absolutely a phenomenal player.
And a lot of times around the goal line, they know it's going to him. It's just so hard to stop.
And that's where it really becomes difficult because you're exactly right. They know it's going to him, yet they still can't stop it. That tells you when you're a dominant player.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. And the lead is up to 5. So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. 16 yards on that one and a Raven first. Well, Snead figures to be an important veteran presence for Lamar Jackson. 2 years ago, it was a disappointing 2017 for Snead. That was in New Orleans, but then had a bit of a bounce-back campaign a season ago in his first go-around with Baltimore. 62 catches, 650 yards. Did have surgery in the offseason on his left index finger, but back to full health and ready to go. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They run. It's Mark Ingram. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. On 2nd and 7, Jackson. And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 31-yard line.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get a little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 down at the 31. Now it's Ingram. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Play action. It's Jackson. Roberts got it. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. The Raven passing game getting in sync. Another 1st down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Jackson to the goal line, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Nick Boyle that time, but now it's 3rd and goal. The Ravens on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. They'll try and run. Ingram. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. Let's think here. You're still just in the 2nd quarter. You taking the 3 points?
I am taking the 3 points, and I'm just relying on my defense here. Show them you have a little confidence in them, and let the offense know, nice drive. Come back next time. We'll go get 6 then, but for now, we'll take the 3.
And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Tucker's kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. Tucker named the league's all-pro kicker for the 3rd time in 2018.
Go ahead and admit it. The only time that you get excited about Justin Tucker kicking is when he actually misses.
It's
and
rare.
excited is not the right word. Surprise is more what we're talking about. 90.1% coming into 2019. He's incredible.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the 2nd quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll begin the drive with Howard. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's an Eagles 1st down on a gain of 11.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Running with Howard. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Now Wentz. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Now it appears we've got an injured Raven down there on the field. Definitely the last thing you want to see here in a preseason game. We'll be right back.
Here we go, back. Waiting!
Watch the backer, watch the backer.
On first down, it's Howard. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. Patrick Onwuasor up to make the tackle.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Come get some. Come get some. Come on here. Come get some.
They fake the give. Now Wentz. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Well, as a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there.
Here we go. Waiting!
48 right now, let's go. I smell fear in that offense.
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. Trying for the tight end, Ertz, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tony Jefferson, and his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
And Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
And the Ravens taking the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe-bashed.
I don't know about
Toe-bashed
that. Super toe.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now it's Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. Now it appears we've got an injured Raven down there on the field. Definitely the last thing you want to see here in a preseason game. We'll be right back. On first down, they go with Dixon. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. He was brought down by Kamu Grugier-Hill.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Looking to throw on second down. Jackson. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. These offensive starters still out there in the second quarter. You would think the plans for them to at least play into the third quarter, if not all the way through.
Yeah, it might go by feel. If they have a really good first drive to start the third quarter, they might pull them after that. If not, might leave them out there a little bit longer, but I'll guarantee this, they'll be gone by the start of the fourth quarter.
And they'll get this across midfield, but not nearly close to a first down as he stopped at the 48. Call it a gain of 5. Fourth down now.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Eagles will have the football at the 20-yard line. Jordan Howard and the rest of the offense heading back out there. A good job in the passing game. Decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
Now Howard fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second and 9, Wentz. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Wentz now 13 of 15 passing. That's good for 87%. It's first and 10. Out of the gun, this is Howard. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's second and 9.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
On second and 9, Wentz. Wide open receiver complete. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down. 2 first downs have them up near midfield now on first and 10. Running from the gun with Howard. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a first and 10 right at the 40. They run with Howard. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Here we go. 180!
I know you ain't got it.
2nd and 15 now. Wentz. He's got Dallas Goedert, his tight end, over the middle. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 29-yard line.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Wentz now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. They go counter with Howard. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On 2nd and 9, Wentz toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Brandon Carr on the coverage there. You know, last week I remember asking you, what would an offensive coordinator be looking for week 2 of the preseason? Now we're in week 3. Defensive coordinator-wise, what's he looking at?
For the most part in preseason, you're playing pretty basic stuff, pretty vanilla defenses. You're looking for guys that play with abandon, that just go out and make plays and kind of let their athletic ability take over in order for you to notice them.
Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Wentz now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. Again to Howard. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Throwing is Wentz. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Shotgun now for Wentz. This is caught. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. 2nd and goal from the 6 this time. Now Wentz. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 2. He's at the 50, the 40, past the 20, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Those free safeties, they get to sit back there if they've got good pass rushers like this team does. Read like a book. He read it like a book and took it in for 6.
And if they use their eyes well and their anticipation skills, they can make big plays, just as what we saw, a free safety's dream. Follow the football, go to it, and take it the other way.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. It's up and good, and the lead moves to 15-10.
Makes the score Ravens 15.
A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half, as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Here's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on third. On the handoff, this is Howard. And he's going to be stopped short of a first down as they'll get to him at about the 33. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Cameron Johnston now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Oh, boy, he fielded it right on the goal line. He'll be hard-pressed to match that one. That a 65-yard punt. And the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Check.
Throwing is Jackson. Snead's got it. 22 yards there, a first down. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Jackson now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. Ingram. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Now Jackson. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 21. Throwing on second down, Jackson. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Jackson will throw again. And it's caught. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. 2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. They'll look to run with Ingram. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. This Eagle defense, they won't give in without a fight. This is 3rd and goal. So we've come to halftime in a 5-point game. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach!
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in just a minute. This one of 6 games on this Thursday night as we begin preseason week 3. Teams are going through their dress rehearsals. We'll have 2 games tomorrow, 7 on Saturday, and then we'll wrap it up on Sunday Night Football. Steelers and Titans in the AFC from Nashville. In our game, expect to see the starters for at least 1 more drive, something to look forward to as we get you back out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Our starters likely to be out there for the 3rd quarter as we get back underway in this 2nd half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. A run there on 1st down gets 3 up to the 28. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Another carry for the workhorse tonight, Ingram. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Here's Jackson. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Eagles will have it taking over 1st and 10. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the 2nd half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned Because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything. Change it up, because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Three bud.
Wentz. And this will be incomplete.
Whenever they're trying to attack a zone defense, you're trying to figure out where your gaps are going to be. And depending on what type of zone they're playing, it could be on the outside, it could be in the middle, it could be in the seams, in the edges. In this case, they tried to attack the middle of the field, but this zone defense didn't allow it because they were able to see the ball come off the quarterback's hands, and everyone was able to react to the football and knock it away. And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Ravens will take over at their own 20-yard line. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll try to get the ground game going with Ingram. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Now on 2nd and 13. Jackson, a short throw caught by Andrews. And they'll get him down here at the 23. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Draw play. Ingram now. And he's going to be taken down about a yard shy of the first at the 29. It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough. And the punt team's going to be summoned on 4th down. As we surmise, Charles, most of the starting units still out there for this 3rd quarter. First time this preseason that they played into the second half.
And that's by design. Most of the time by this point of the preseason, you want them to go into the half, cool down, and then come back out and warm up to start the 3rd quarter like you would a regular season game. That's exactly what they wanted to get done.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. So just a 3-yard return following a punt of 45. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
They go with Howard to begin the drive. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
2nd and 5 now. Wentz. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off at the 47.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Baltimore with good starting field position as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Here's Jackson to throw. They go to screen. This is Ingram. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd down. Out of the gun, they give to Ingram. And he'll take this to the 47, but no further as they get him down well short of the line to gain. It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on 4th down.
Well, the guys who are paid to make the tackles deserve some kudos there, but I think they deserve even bigger ones because in that situation, they had to be thinking pass. Loosened up defense, going to pass coverage. Instead, maybe they surprised them a little bit running the ball, yet they rallied to it and stopped them well short of a 1st down.
Here's Sam Cook now. He's been terrific so far. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And the Eagles will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys are tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Wentz. It's caught by Jackson. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 10-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the gun, it's Wentz. And that is incomplete.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. On the return is Irvin. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Ravens, they'll take over. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes a better punter may actually determine the outcome.
The drive starts here with a carry by Ingram. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. From the gun, Jackson. Roberts has it. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Partney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start, and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. Now this is fielded in the end zone, so a change of possession here on the punt. And the Eagles will have the football at the 20-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he held on to it, but he probably shouldn't have as they get him behind the line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. Well, there they went blitz defensively, Charles, and things were paved well coming from the linebacker position.
I love the way that you described it, paved well. Oftentimes, the guy who gets home on the blitz, he's going to get all the credit, but his teammates did all the dirty work, right? They ran into people on purpose. They sometimes tugged on jerseys to hold linemen to create space and gaps. And that play finished off really, really well. Well-conceived, well-designed, and even better executed.
14 yards there and an Eagle first down. Wentz now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
Throwing on 2nd down. Wentz. It's caught by Aguilar. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a gain of 16 and an Eagle first down. A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. A quick throw there out to Jeffrey.
An eligible receiver downfield. Offense.
And those linemen, of course, can't be more than a yard downfield when a pass is thrown, and they might have been able to call that on a couple of guys there. They'll run from the pistol with Howard. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play. Continues to be a struggle for this offense and this home crowd. They're growing a little restless here in the second half.
And I think they've just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of runs and give you a little more space.
Here we go, Pac-Man. 180!
Get in the weight room.
Throwing on second and long. Wentz. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. A good pickup there. 13 yards as they get closer for third down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
From midfield, here's Wentz. And Jeffrey's got it. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 31-yard line. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Wentz going to lead his guys up 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. On first down, they run with Howard. Earl Thomas in on the stop.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
2nd and 5 now. Wentz. And that's complete to Jeffrey. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 16 yards, a first down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Wentz now nearing the 300-yard mark with still a quarter to play. It's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Clement. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Working from the gun, Wentz. Caught by the tight end, Ertz. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now here come the Ravens. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
They'll run on first down. It's Ingram, and he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. Baltimore was the most run-heavy team in the league last year after Lamar Jackson took over as a starter. And you think about Mark Ingram, he goes from a situation where he was sharing time with Kamara in New Orleans. Now he figures to be the top guy in the Baltimore backfield, although I guess you could say he's kind of splitting time with his quarterback, Lamar Jackson. But a great veteran presence Mark Ingram is behind Jackson. Ingram now in his 9th NFL season. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down. Jackson now. 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Keep 15. Keep 15.
On the counter, Ingram. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. That was shades of Tennessee volunteer football back in the 80s with Charles Davis coming up from the secondary to make the tackle for a loss.
You mean my teammates doing that, right? Because they would tell you, my coach would say, where's that tape? I want to see that. But how about the complete package there? Not just playing the pass, but being a willing tackler and making a really nice play.
On 2nd and 11 now. Jackson. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. On the draw, this is Ingram. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup, and that'll do it for the end of the 3rd quarter. You're watching preseason football on EA Sports. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Here's Kessler to throw. And incomplete.
Very difficult night for the guys on offense. They've got to be looking at each other in the huddle and on the sidelines. How are we going to find some open space to complete a pass and find open room to run? This defense all night long has squeezed down the passing lanes, made plays on the football. It's really been a thing of beauty for them. He's got to figure all day long prepping for the game, they had to have talked about it again and again. Squeeze passing lane.
He's got a man complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 33 yards that time.
That could very well be a defining play in this game. A touchdown, that gives them the lead, and they took a major step towards getting there with that big play right there.
The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10.
Come on, QB, come on. Get it.
Kessler to throw once more. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Shane Ray came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now Kessler. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, Kessler. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Young. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
So it's 3rd and long, and you know this is going to be a pass. So defensively, they bring in an extra defensive back and just blanket the field. And this is an ill-advised throw right here as it winds up being picked off easily.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating 1st downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. A first throw for the backup Griffin. That's caught. It's Chris Moore. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. That's good for a Raven 1st down, 15 yards there. If you go back to OTAs in May, Chris Moore, he's a guy that a lot of people saw as a breakout candidate. 4th-round pick back in 2016 and hasn't really shown a whole lot in limited playing time so far in his career. 44 career catches in 3 seasons. So 2019 figures to be an important one if he wants to prove his wares in this league. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Dixon. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They go play action with Griffin. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in.
Come on, baby.
A well-executed 22-yard gain.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. On first and goal, Dixon. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. A 6-yard touchdown run as the Ravens push further out in front. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Now Tucker to add the PAT. And that makes it a 9-point game. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it's Kenneth Dixon who caps it off with a touchdown scamper. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Kessler to throw. He's got Dallas Goedert, his tight end, over the middle. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Kessler. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Carr. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, the intended receiver.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
The drive begins with a run by Dixon. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Play action. It's Griffin. That's pulled in by the rookie from Notre Dame, Miles Boykin. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Malcolm Jenkins, the strong safety, swoops in for the sack.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. To throw is RG3. Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run, because we envision them in offenses, catch the ball, how much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. Here's Dixon. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Now that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the 1st down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on 3rd down. Now a draw play with Dixon. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one, and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. And this one is right down the middle. And that will give them a 12-point lead. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Cody Kessler trotting back onto the field. With his guys trailing here in the 4th, he can ill afford a repeat of the interception that ended the last drive.
Yeah, you're 2 scores down. You take it upon yourself now to play perfect or near perfect football if you want to get your team back into the game. But it's also tough to do when you're trying to avoid errors, yet still play perfect football.
On the ground, it's Clement to start the drive. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Tavon Young in on the tackle.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 17 yards and a 1st down for Philly. 4th quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You got the 1st one for the 2nd one to even matter.
Gator. Here we go, D. Here I come. Here I come. Now.
They're going to run the draw here with Clement. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Right
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on second and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
Here we go, here we go. 15, Lonnie. 15 line. Screen. Get it.
On first down, they go with Clement again. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
On second down and 4, Kessler, he's going to float this one deep right side. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. They'll try and run here with Clement. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. They have the first down with that gain of 4 yards.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Here we go, here we go.
Ready.
Here's Smallwood. He's got it on the draw. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Kessler. Man open. It's J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. They'll look to make it 3 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. They need a yard here. On 3rd down, here comes Clement. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
On the set.
Mike 49. Watch twist, watch twist, watch twist. Twist, twist.
Running is Clement, and he'll fight his way down right around the 12.
Oh, yeah.
Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. Definitely the last thing you want to see here in a preseason game. We'll be right back. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Watch tight end, watch tight end. Tight right, tight right. Even. 4 down, even.
Working from the gun, Kessler. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. A run with Smallwood. And they're going to drop him well shy of the first as he can only make it to the 11. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down. Well, look at the clock. You're down 2 scores. Have to go for this, don't you?
And they thought that as soon as they took over possession. It didn't matter where they were on the field. They were always going to be in 4-down territory. Backed up, in good situation, it didn't matter. So they've been preparing for that on their play sheet the entire time.
Yeah, that is incomplete, but there is a flag. And on 4th down, this is a big call. Well, you won't hear any boos from this home crowd on that call.
No, not at all. And it's been a long day for this crowd waiting for this game. It's been a long evening as well. Finally, they feel they got a call.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll run with Clement, and he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Taking it in from a yard out as his guys are back within a single score.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And the Ravens taking the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
A run on 1st down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Now it's Griffin. Quick slant, caught by Moore. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. The battle in the trenches never more important than right now. This is 3rd and inches. Dixon running from the shotgun. And he is going to have the 1st down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. We've got a 1-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now on 1st, Dixon again. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. You'd have to think likely another running play coming here. 2nd and 11. Oh, Griffin's going to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. This a very important drive, and that incompletion leads to a very important 3rd down here if they're going to try and get the football back.
Yeah, getting it back, absolutely crucial to their chances to try and win this game. I would expect a lot of pressure here. They can't afford to let them continue to get 1st downs and eat away at the clock.
Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now Dixon, and he'll get this down only to about the 46. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Griffin to throw. To the right side and complete to Hurst. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now it's Dixon. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it here with 1:07 remaining. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. The Ravens taking a knee with victory seemingly in hand here. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Griffin down to a knee, and that should be the final act in this game. Well, partner, it's just preseason, but it always feels good to be in victory formation, taking the knee for the W.
Yeah, I've often thought to myself when I watch these preseason games, some teams need the wins more than others. You know, if you're established and you're used to winning, not quite the same. But if you're trying to learn how to win, it's important to get it done. And to be able to kneel down at the end, even better.
From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. From Philadelphia, good night, everybody.